Welcome to ENC 3249, short term. This is a roughly 6-week class designed to teach you the basics of workplace writing in a very short amount of time. Given a typical week in this course, you will have about 5 assignments due every week, ranging from quizzes to discussions, all the way up to full-length projects. This course has a midterm and a final, and it does require both group work and the digital equivalent of public speaking. You will be making videos, and you will be expected to do so in a reasonably professional manner. My name is Dr. Malish. I will be your instructor through this course, and what I want to do in this video is show you what we do in Canvas and how to generally manage your week. So without further ado, let me go ahead and start a screen share and show you what it is that I'm talking about. So there we go. Let me go back to our homepage. And when you log into Canvas and when you start the course, this is what you're going to see. You'll see a brief introduction from me. You'll see about this course. Let me get you started on what's important here. You should immediately read through the syllabus. This is the rules of the course. Provides contact information here for me. This phone number, by the way, is just the English department phone number. You can leave a message for me, but I don't, I'll be honest, they don't give me a work phone, so I don't have one. The best way to get a hold of me is by email, vmalish@fiu.edu. In the syllabus, we briefly describe the purpose of the course, your goals and objectives. You can all read those on your own time. I'm going to go through some of the urgent stuff with you here. Number one, there are some baseline technical requirements just in terms of computer literacy and data management. These things are, I don't want to say very obvious, but I do want to say they create a baseline. This is again, the bare minimum of what you should be able to do, including simple things like know to use a computer and not a phone when you're conducting professional correspondence. But I digress. Let's get along with it. Your textbook is Mike Markell and Stuart Selber's Practical Strategies for Technical Communication, 3rd edition. Note that the 4th edition is already out, but we are holding off on it because we just haven't tested through it yet, and we are in the middle of a curricular update. So 3rd edition is the one you want. Several quizzes pull answers directly verbatim from the text, and so I cannot recommend using a different version. Use the 3rd edition. Course communication, again, as I've said before, email me. For prerequisites and competencies, you should have completed 1101 and 1102, and you should hopefully have some familiarity with MLA and APA format, university level research practices, fundamental understanding of basic writing concepts like grammar, spelling, usage, and appropriateness, and basic rhetorical concepts like authorship, audience, messaging, arrangement, style, and delivery. In general, please know that you have to submit a final project. You have to participate on it. There will be questions about that. And you do have to score 73% or better to pass the class. These are some expectations for online learning, moving right along. There's a tentative outline in the README section if that interests you. I want to talk to you about how work is graded here. This is your point range table, and it talks to you about what we do. So what we call companion activities, there's a whole bunch of them, and all told it's worth 240 of the 400 points available in this class. You'll have 4 minor projects. These are writing tasks, letters, memos, and that sort of thing. You're going to have a midterm, and then you're going to have a final, and both of those are pretty heavy hitters. And I point out again, you must participate and produce a good final project in order to pass. Your basic grade, and that's in addition to all the other stuff. So you have to have enough points to pass. You have to have enough points to pass, and you have to do the final, period. If you have enough points, but you don't do the final, you will fail the class. If you don't have enough points, but then you ace the final, you would still fail the class. So here's your grade range. An A starts at 92%, which is actually pretty generous. A lot of classes only start that A at 95%. Your baseline to pass the class, 73%. If you get 72.999%, you would get a D, and you would have to take this class over. I've never been sure as to why we actually have a D, because you need a C or better to pass. But if you did get a D, I guess it wouldn't completely sink your GPA. Some points are better than none. Regardless, that would not be satisfactory completion of ENC 3249. And F is below 60%, and that, of course, is course failure. In terms of scoring, when I evaluate your work, I do something called labor-based grading. If you do your work satisfactorily and turn it in on time, it's worth full points. I might have some notes for you. You might do things that I don't care for, but which are still correct. Your work will pass. I'm here to watch you do more writing and learn by doing. The actual quality of the work really comes into play on the midterm and final. Other than that, I expect that you are learning the basics and learning your way through them. Now that satisfactorily note there, if you do not produce work that I believe is up to par, it will be marked to 0 and you'll have a chance to do it over. Corrections can be submitted for 90%. So even if you don't get a perfect score right away, you can redo it for 9 out of 10 points or whatever it's worth. Timeliness matters. I cannot stress that enough. This is the bare basics of professionalism. Turn your work in on time. It starts losing points the second it's late. And I mean the second. If Canvas says that you turned something in at 12:01 and it was due 11:59, you lose 10% immediately. So get your work in on time. There is no extra credit because I think it's a huge distraction. For makeup work, you can always just, if you miss the deadline, turn it in late, you'll get points for it. In terms of conflict resolution, we have a note here for you. If there's something going on with your grade or your work, you should talk to me first. And then we do have some options if you need additional assistance. So that's the syllabus taken very, very quickly. Most of what you do will be done here in the modules. The modules, there we go. So over here, you see a module 0, and that's getting started. And it shows you some of the essentials of what we're doing, like why do we have groups in public speaking? What's the tentative schedule? How do we grade and so on? You can read that yourself. What I want to show you here is module 1 of 6. And this is your week 1 activity. So starting on Monday and going through Sunday, this is what you're going to do. I give you an overview of the section. You've got some reading. Some of this is stuff that I have written for you, like the welcome, note on workplace correspondence, and a guide to letters. Some of it comes from this reading list. As soon as that loads, there we go. We give you particular chapters to read, and then I will give you some external resources for which you will also be responsible. So get through that reading. First, the notes that I provide. Second, the reading list. Sometimes I'll give you a resource like this. This is the letter about letters. It's a PDF. And if I open this up in a new tab, which hopefully you can see, I'm never sure if the screen cap is actually going to work correctly. You can see here that it's got proper letter formatting. It looks like a letter. It reads like a letter. It has an attachment that's helpful. And you can sort of use that as a model. All right, once you get through your reading, do your work. You'll see that this week we've got 2 discussions, 2 quizzes, and then a writing project. Your discussions, we've got introductions, we've got you seeking out real-world examples of writing in the workplace, and then I'm going to quiz you on the syllabus and my notes, and then the practical strategies for technical communication text. When you're done with that, you will write me a letter, and the description of the letter, I think, gives us a pretty good overview of what you will typically see in an assignment brief. So the overview is the big picture of the assignment. The details are what I'm specifically asking you to do. So write a block letter that is a particular format that I want to see. The letter should be 1 page, probably about 200 to 300 words. And then you would submit that as either a Word doc or a PDF through Canvas. Do not send me RTF. Do not send me pages. Do not send me a link to a Word doc or a Google Doc. I will just mark that 0, and you are then eligible for at max 90%. So please, all work as a Word doc or a PDF. Here's a discussion that just kind of talks about some of the content that I would expect to see and how you might address my particular concerns. And as you can see, this is a 15-point assignment. Like everything else that is labor-based, I will evaluate it, basically pass-fail. If you are able to produce a good block letter that is about the topic I'm asking for here, you will get 15 points. No worry, no hurry. All right, so that's this course in a nutshell. It lasts for about 6 or 7 weeks, thereabouts. There is no final exam. You do have a final project. You will be doing some group work. And again, the digital equivalent of public speaking, creating videos by means of introduction, communication, and so on. If you have any questions during the entirety of this course, I invite you to please contact me by email. That's vmalish@fiu.edu. vmalesh@fiu.edu. I'm happy to help. You can also reach out to me through the Canvas inbox. This is, I think you'll find, a very useful and pragmatic course. I'm happy to help you out as you're moving forward, but these skills are going to serve you the rest of your career. Please pay attention. Please get your work in on time. You're going to have a good time in this class, and I think you're going to do well. Good luck. And again, reach out to me at any time.